All right. January oh my gosh, what day is it? 17th? 2024. So kind of a down day, if I'm being totally honest. I don't really know kind of the best way to get into it because part of me thinks that the moment I say something about the subject that the person will stumble upon my channel and see it. But I feel really unhappy with, I think, work right now and just like the state of myself. I don't really know how to describe it other than I just feel a little bit of dissatisfaction, a lot of dissatisfaction. I think I had an idea of where I would be headed or where I would be right now. And it seems like I'm still so far off from that. And I don't know why that is. I don't know why that feeling is just so pervasive right now. Like everything that I've said in the last, 2+ weeks have been honest and true about like staying true to process and sort of casting a vision for whatever it is that you're doing and trusting that, you're going in the right direction and sort of with the right fortitude, if that's the right way to put it. But largely right now, when I think about what life looks like on a day-to-day basis, like it kind of sucks. And I don't I want to be very careful to there's a lot going on in the world right now. So I'm very, very, very fortunate. I have a roof over my head. I have 2 wonderful dogs. I can eat. I'm taken care of. So grateful. And then there are parts of like my inner me that just feel like there is more to life than what I'm experiencing. And I feel like I'm exploring that in some ways. I think the purpose of this and creating in this capacity is to find out, to do some self-exploration and see what it is that I need to be moving toward and angled toward. I think that I'm doing the right thing. I think that these steps are the right steps to take. But some days like today are just kind of like, this sucks. What am I doing? Now I will say that some of that today has to do with some envy and some comparison to others. I found myself working and just being super fucking bored of what I was working on. And there are boring days, that just happens. But today I was like, I cannot do this forever. And so I was like, okay, well, maybe if I watch some YouTube interviews, people who I respect and I value, then that will give me some drive to kind of, so I'm working on my stuff that's really boring while I'm listening to stuff that's really entertaining. And I think that kind of polarity, you have this things suck over here, I hate this, and then you have, wow, this would be the apex of living is being like these YouTubers who I really admire. That polarity made the starkness of the contrast so much greater. And yeah, and so I sat there, I kind of had to sit with it for a little while, and ask myself whoa, dude, why do you feel so? This is not healthy. This is like when you get on Instagram and you see everybody doing great and you're not. And then I kind of had a little reality check with myself and I said, you're not seeing everything, dude. You're you're watching, you know, freaking Emma Chamberlain, who's a badass, you know, who has done a vlog and explored and done her exploration and posted and shared and like built her brand. And that's incredible. There's so many years of work that went into that, and probably a lot of unhappiness and dissatisfaction with certain components of her life at the time. I don't know. But, you know, and probably the same with Casey Neistat. I was watching an interview with him, and, you know, I freaking love the dude. Like, the guy is so admirable and so honest, and it's so inspiring to, like, just doing this. He was a huge reason for why this didn't feel like such a bad idea. Because there is something, I think, intrinsically good, true, and beautiful about this process. The unfiltered, the raw, the honest, the face-to-face. And so watching him was sort of like, damn, I wish I was him. And looking at, you know, Andrew Schultz and Emma Chamberlain and, you know, was his name Ali Abdul, who I just started following. And these people are like, you know, YouTube heroes of mine, right? And I'm like sitting here thinking like, wait, do I even want to be them? And not in a bad way. Just like in a, like, why do I want to be someone? I don't want to be someone else. I want to be me. I don't want to do what everybody else is doing. And I mean, a part of like just being on YouTube, you kind of are doing what everybody else is doing. Like there's a camera, there's a light, there's a setting, there's you talking. And so there's no getting around that. But when I started to think like, okay, well, if I were to be, say, Emma Chamberlain and I were in her shoes, would I do things the exact same way? And like, probably not. If I were Casey Neistat, he has a crazy story. I don't want to be in his shoes when he was 15. Like that would be so much. And all of those things inform the process by which like your creative self is kind of generated. So my story is inherently different than theirs. Their story is inherently different from each other's. And so there really is no comparison, and comparison's just not helpful. It doesn't get anybody anywhere. It just makes you feel worse about yourself. And those people, I don't think would want that for me. I certainly wouldn't want that for them or for anybody else who's starting their journey. So I think the more I kind of like sat with that idea, the more I was like, all right, I think you just need to like drink some water, go have a meal, drive around Brooklyn, go to Trader Joe's, you know, get annoyed with people and the congestion, and then come home and see how you feel. And that did help, admittedly. But I still find myself like wishing that I had started this earlier, and, you know, wishing that I had, I don't know, kind of lean into this curiosity and this self-exploration a little bit heavier. I don't know, maybe pre-COVID. But you know what? That's okay. As Ramit Sethi says, the best time to invest is 10 years ago, and the second best time is right now. And so was I investing in myself 10 years ago? In some capacities, yes, not in this way. But am I investing in myself now in this way? Yes. And so that is what I'm going to focus on, and lean into that as heavily as I can, and not really be too worried about what everybody else is doing, and really just trust the process. So yeah, I guess that's kind of like part one of what I wanted to say. Trusting the process, trying not to envy other people, and again, this process is not about becoming famous. It's not about becoming, you know, a celebrity and like being recognized. It's about freaking figuring out like what is going on in here, and how do I take that out into the world. So yeah, there's that component. And I think, secondly, I don't even know if I have anything else to share. I think that's pretty much it for the day. Is there anything else? Oh, yeah, okay. So I've been talking about changes, things that I want to do. a little bit at a time in each of these videos to make it better each time. Now, I've started to kind of like write out what those things are and prioritize what I think is most important. Right now, the phase of this creative journey that I'm in is just learning to trust myself, building up a habit, telling myself that I can do this and I will do this. And that to me is the most important thing right now. So building a followership is like, I don't really like, it'll happen when it needs to happen. I'm not really too worried about it. So I haven't shared this with anybody, except for like 2 or 3 people. That's why I don't have any subscribers, because I have 5 subscribers, but I don't have a lot. I haven't shared it. This is all very like intimate me sharing just to build that muscle, right? But as I do this, I do want to be thinking about what is getting better, what components are changing, such that when you are watching this and you've made it this far into the video, you've been like, okay, like I'm still invested in this and I still want to learn more. And I still want to see what's going on with this random human being. So anyways, the change that I've kind of started trying to implement, but I am going to be diligent about it from today on. One of the things that I did in the early videos 2 weeks ago was say things like, well, since nobody's watching this, or since I don't have any subscribers, and saying some explanation, then being like, well, it's not like anybody's watching this, so, which kind of like, it's kind of shitty. Like, it kind of sucks. Like, if you've made it this far into the video, then you don't want to be told that you're nobody, or that you don't matter, or that, you know, like, nobody is watching this video because you are watching the video. Or I'm not nobody if I'm watching the video in the future and I make it this far. Do I think that these videos are exhilarating and exciting and super fun? No, I don't at all. They're boring as hell. but to me, it's about the process, and it's about honoring that process as much as it is working on it. And I think that honoring that process is honoring those who choose to opt in, whatever that looks like. So if you are watching it, like, you're not nobody. In fact, I really appreciate you watching. And if there's 4 people watching, great. If there's 15 people watching it, great. If there's 0, totally fine too. So yeah, I think that's the first part. And then some upcoming changes that might be fun to kind of talk about. One of them is like, I want to really tighten up language. You know, when I just said it. See, I don't want to use filler words. I don't want to use things like, you know, like, you know what I mean? It's kind of like, it's just that type of filling in the air with words and it means absolutely nothing. So I want to kind of tighten up what I'm saying. It's not going to be perfect, but I think the more I pay attention to it, the better it'll get. I think before long I may start editing these. I haven't decided yet. I kind of like this idea of like for a year straight, just posting, you know, 365 videos that were just me, like upload and post and go to bed and not think about it. And then the other part of me says, well, you know, what would make it a little more compelling to watch? There's maybe a better way to tell the story. Maybe I need to, I love writing. Maybe I write some of these thoughts out in sort of journal form and then, you know, give it a general summary or keep it under 5 minutes, or I don't know. So just some ideas. So we'll see how it kind of evolves. I'm kind of just enjoying like not having to think about it. I think my theme for the first month or 2 of this will be, how do I remove the thinking from the doing, and just building the muscle of putting work out and putting work out and putting work out. And hopefully for whoever's watching it, it's worth your time. So yeah, more on what's coming up later, more about changes, more about my vision for this whole thing, but I'm excited to make some tweaks and changes to the process as we go. So I think that's it for the night, and I'm gonna make the dogs food, wind down, meditate, and go to sleep. All right, that was fun. I will see you tomorrow.